Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques, what's going on, folks? What's going on, y'all? What's happening? So, yeah, we lost to the Chiefs. Much respect to Kansas City. Before we kick off the show, as you guys know, last night was a major tragedy in the NBA. Me personally, I'm a humongous NBA fan. I love the NBA.
Me too.
Big Knicks fan. I know that's like, hey, a Knicks fan, yeah, for a long time. But I'm really even more a player fan. And I marvel over some of these ball players. So rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. This is his old high school jersey stitched up. I don't know if you can see the back of my jersey. That's Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to the Black Mamba.
Rest in power, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Rest in power, man. Like you said, it's a tragedy, man.
Yeah, man.
It's just crazy. My first love was the NBA and basketball, man. I was a big Bulls fan in the 90s when Jordan and all them. If I had to rank them, Jordan, Kobe, Iverson, all them, man. So
man.
It sucks.
It does.
I mean, it's like if it's not one thing, it's another, man.
That's right.
And just how it happened and. They said my condolences, man. Right.
Sad,
daughter. So, man, hey, rest in power.
Yeah, man.
Both of them, all the families that were in the accident as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And basketball, I've coached basketball for many, many years. My son's played basketball, has played AAU basketball. Basketball runs kind of heavy in my family. I played high school basketball. So, and Kobe, at the time was around the same time frame. So, rest in peace. Kobe Bryant, you know what I'm saying? This show's for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? To you and your family, to Gigi as well, and the other passengers that was on the helicopter, man, to L.A., and a lot of Laker fans. I know y'all sad at this moment, NBA fans in general. Even Derrick Henry said his favorite ball player of all time was Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, it's worth ethic.
Exactly. It's unreal.
It's crazy.
It's unmatched. Mm-hmm. Unmatched.
It's almost up there with Jordan. Matter of fact, if I had to compare a player, and this sparks debates, but if I had to compare anybody to Jordan, it was Kobe.
Right.
It was Kobe. Like, literally, it was Kobe.
The Mamba mentality.
It's like it was Jordan dropped off, then Kobe came.
Right.
And I wasn't a Lakers fan, but I was a Kobe fan because of his mentality. He was dangerous. He was,
sir.
Like you said, a Mamba. So
he was. So, Kansas City, man, congratulations to you guys for beating us, the Tennessee Titans.
We see y'all in the comment section. And hey, rightfully so. Hey, do your thing. Like you said, congratulations.
Congrats, man.
On Kansas City.
Yep.
Well fought game. Good luck in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Hey,
we hung with them, man, and we still felt that the Titans could have won this football game. A few things here and there, but I'm not gonna sit there and say, oh, they cheated or nothing like that. I'm not gonna say that. They won.
They earned it.
They earned it. And Patrick Mahomes is a problem. I think we did about as well as you can, man. But, at the end of the day, man, Patrick Mahomes is going to do what he does. Mm-hmm. And even defensively is where I felt that the Kansas City Chiefs really stepped up their game, man, against us, man. They did.
I seen it when they played the Chargers. When they played the Chargers and their defense had just blossomed and improved with Suggs on the roster. I think, to me, it elevated when Terrell got there.
Right.
In the presence of him and the pressure and everything and just that momentum. They deserve it. And let's say this, people. The Titans went to the AFC Championship.
Yes,
okay?
that's not a small thing.
That's not something that you can just say, hey, we're going to throw under the rug.
Right.
We got to the championship. We're picking number, 29th?
29th in the draft.
29th in the draft. That's an accomplishment. That the Ravens didn't accomplish. That's something the Texans didn't accomplish. The Bills and all the other teams that were out there that's not in the playoffs. So you should be proud. We should be proud of the Titans.
Yeah. We're proud of these guys, man.
We're proud of them.
The city's proud of the Titans, man. Very proud of the Titans,
man. We fought hard, man.
We fought very hard.
We fought hard, and we fought to the end.
Yep.
And just the better team won. And what happens is how you get to that next step is you make improvements.
Yeah,
you build. You have that same mold. Like I said, Kansas City is the new NFL. Yep. The Titans have the kind of the mixture of the old NFL, but trying to get to the new NFL.
Yeah, man.
And there's just the new NFL is the wave of having these 5-6 receivers that are. It almost reminds you of 7-on-7. Reminds you of flag football. You put your athlete on athlete, and y'all go at it.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? It's not. It's hard to scheme against speed.
It is.
We take it back to the schoolyard. Your man versus my man. Hey. We do what we got to do to try to win, and if when my man win, your man win, boom. At least we competed. So
and the way the NFL is being crafted now is on defense, you can barely hit anybody, right?
Right.
I mean, I allow the Patrick Mahomes touchdown. Now I give him props for running the touchdown, but in many other eras, Patrick Mahomes would have been on the ground, right? Man, he would have got leveled, right? So people were sitting there trying to strip the ball instead of just tackling him. They still could have just tried to make the tackle, but I think they're so afraid to hit the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I think that was the biggest thing there. So I just think overall, man, look, Kansas City, you guys did a better job than us, and good luck to y'all in the Super Bowl.
Right.
I actually have them to win the Super Bowl.
I think they're gonna win it too.
Yeah, I do, man.
It's hard to stop it. I mean, and rightfully so. They win the Super Bowl. Okay, good job to y'all.
Salute. We lost to the Super Bowl champions. I'll take that.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take that. We come back and your whole goal is to circle that on the calendar.
That's
and
right.
We want to get back to where we got to.
Absolutely.
To beat the Super Bowl champions.
That's right, sir.
And how you do it is you change. This is a teaching tool.
Absolutely.
This is a teaching tool. The Kansas City Chiefs were here last year.
Yep.
So they understand how it feels.
Yep.
The Titans, let's get back to, hey, next year, hey, maybe we see the Kansas City Chiefs again in the AFC Championship, and the outcome be a little different. Just saying.
Yeah, man.
And, go back to your point earlier where you said about the era. You're right. If this was back in the 2000 era when Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and Sean Taylor and Troy Polamalu and Mahomes is running like that, he would have got his skull cracked open.
Right.
I'm just saying to people, you can say whatever you say in the comment section, but it's a safer game now, yes. But you put these players, put these Lamar Jacksons, Patrick Mahomes, put some of these new age players in the era that we grew up on, and all the older people and people that grew up in the 90s and watched football in the 90s, not the newer fans that are in this new era. Talking to my old people, my old fans, the people that's been around.
Yeah.
You've seen football where you can smack somebody in the mouth and not get penalized for it. You've seen where a DB can be on a receiver and it's not pass interference if I'm tugging at you or if I'm playing my technique. We've seen that, and we understand it. Now you're looking at a whole different game where they're making the game safer, but they're making the game so safe to the point where it's almost like flag football.
Right,
you know
absolutely.
And I understand they're taking the safety and everything into equate.
Right.
But at the same time, you're just going to see these high-power offenses winning every time against these defenses.
That's right.
You're going to see these 55 to 56. It's almost going to be like a college game.
Yeah,
almost.
that's right.
It's where you have it, and the reason why Derrick Henry is so successful is because you brought this up. The linebackers are not big linebackers like they used to. So it's hard to tackle a big 250-pound running back when I'm built to keep up with a 4-3 receiver.
Yeah, man. Well, the good thing is that they have made the game safe, and I think that
that's a good thing.
When you look at injuries, I don't think you don't see as many injuries anymore like you used to back in the day. You still got a few players that have concussions, but it's not as bad as it used to be. And it keeps keep your superstars out on the field. Mm-hmm. So that's the positive of it. It does take a lot of the brawn out of the game. The hitting and all those things that fans do enjoy. I like it as well. Right. But I am for safety as well. For players to be healthy. Right. And so again, that's the dynamic where Patrick Mahomes can be successful, right? Mm-hmm. By being a guy that can run and not really have to worry about really getting hit. But for the fans, you got Patrick Mahomes out there. Unlike with us when we had Steve McNair. And, he could get hurt at any point in time based on how he ran, and there was no rules at that time.
Bruised sternum.
Right, exactly.
Cushion. It's a safer game. So I get it. I get it.
That's right, man. That's right. So, Jacques, we did lose a football game. Okay. All right? And, the Kansas City Chiefs are now going to the Super Bowl. The Titans played a very hard-fought game. We lost by 11 points. And again, I felt that the Titans did the best they could. A few, questionable things here and there, but I think the Titans did the best they could. So, we're going to explain, me and Jacques are going to explain, we're going to go back and forth here on the 3 reasons as to why the Tennessee Titans lost to the Kansas City Chiefs, man.
Okay, well, my reason number 1 is no pressure. We didn't get no pressure on Mahomes.
Facts! No paper!
Mahomes
None.
Literally was clean back there just throwing darts and lasers. And if you don't get no pressure on him, you see, now, it was some times that they did dial up pressure. And you can see where Mahomes got quick feet and he was an incomplete pass or he was throwing off his back foot. Right. I understand that, but there was no consistent pressure. Right. Correa had a good game where he was getting pressure, but it seemed like he was the only one. Then when Robinson was in the game, he was more of a disruptor versus a rusher. You see what I'm saying? So That's one reason. If you don't get no pressure on the quarterback, I don't care if you Patrick Mahomes or Jacoby Brissett or hell even RG3. Right. They're going to pick you apart. Right. So that's something that we're going to have to address. Yeah. Man.
We're going to have to, man, from this point on, we're going to be talking about that for real, man.
What about you?
So bad penalties at bad times, right? There was a point in time, man, we were only, 2 yards away from a first down, and what happened? Holding, right? Holding is one of the worst penalties ever. It is a drive killer. Yep. It's even worse than a sack at times. Maybe like, oh my God, a
15
holding?
yards.
Yeah, exactly. So if you look at what happened, it went from, I think, 3rd and 2 to now 3rd and 12. So that completely changed the dynamic of where you would just ran Derrick Henry. Now you got to throw the ball. Mm-hmm. And again, this was in the top of the 3rd quarter. To me, that's what changed the game. Right. That allowed the Titans not to run Derrick Henry. I've heard people on TV, on ESPN saying we got out of our character. We didn't run the ball. Well, after we didn't make the first down, the Kansas City Chiefs scored a touchdown the next drive. So we were kind of out of the mix where we really couldn't run Derrick Henry. And, and so I think bad penalties at bad times, the pass interference that was on Tremaine Brock was huge. It was 3rd down, and he got a penalty. Now, it's debatable if it was pass interference. To be honest with you, I don't think it was pass interference.
It wasn't pass.
I'm just being honest. And I'm not saying that as a fan, because there was a penalty that the Kansas City Chiefs had. I mean, on the opposite side, right? The opposite side, like, that's not a penalty on Kansas City. That was a bad call. Yeah. But that was a bad call on the refs, man. So, yeah.
So, point number 2 for me is failing to execute.
Okay.
All right. So times that we had opportunities, we dropped balls.
Yeah.
We didn't execute when we needed to. And when you don't execute on Kansas City, you give them a free range to score. And then we're falling behind.
Yes, sir.
So when we had a 17 to
17 to 9 or 10?
10 or one of them.
Yes, right.
When you have a lead like that on Kansas City, you have to keep that lead, right?
Right.
Because you never know. And something I respect was their defense. The defense came through. And what happened was when we needed to execute at points and times, we didn't execute. And like you said, go back to the penalties. The penalties killed us.
It did.
Execution, drop balls. Yep. Not the receivers. Some of the receivers not getting open.
Nope.
Like that was something that I said on the last show. I was like, I got criticized a little bit for saying, "Hey, Corey Davis and AJ Brown need to step up." That's why I said in an instance like this, when you're playing Kansas City, you need all hands on deck, not just Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill. Right. You just don't need those two. You need everybody else to add to the gumbo pot as well and execute plays. So for me, it was execution, man. We didn't execute what we needed to. What about you?
And as well, in the preview, I spoke upon Chris Jones, right, the D tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs, the former LSU SEC guy. There was rumors that he wasn't going to play. So for me, I was like, dude, that's huge if he doesn't play. Because I'm telling you, I've seen film. Even when we played him the last time, Chris Jones was a problem. He was very disruptive. Might be the most disruptive interior D lineman in the league. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, he played. Ladies and gentlemen, he was the difference maker on defense. Tyrann Mathieu had a heck of a game, but Chris Jones was the one. Like, even in trying to run Derrick Henry, Chris Jones was there on every play. Every time Ryan Tannehill was trying to throw the ball, Chris Jones was disrupting where Frank Clark and those other guys were around the corner getting close to Ryan Tannehill. He was a problem. And ladies and gentlemen, he is a free agent. Tennessee.
We got a show for that.
Tennessee.
Hey.
You might want to look at that joker. He's young. He is a disruptor. And in the Super Bowl, Kansas City, you're going to really need him. Chris Jones was the difference maker.
They'll be stupid.
He was.
Hey, they'll be stupid for letting him walk.
Yeah, they would be, man.
Let him walk.
I'm telling you, man, dude is a beast. Yeah. And I've seen Chiefs fans that, was like, saying he's lazy and, he should play and all these things. Hey, man, don't take that for granted because the team will scoop him up and he'll be the starting nose tackle for somebody else balling. Chris Jones was a problem, man.
Imagine him next to Jeffrey Simmons.
Right, man. Yeah, Chris Jones has a dog in him. It's really hard to explain, man. So what about for you, man?
Point number 3, not tackling.
Yeah,
we didn't tackle. We didn't tackle at all. We
not at all.
Barely tackled. And when you get to these guys, you have to tackle, especially Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, sir.
You have to wrap up. You have to really make him feel it. And something that they didn't do was execute.
Right.
We go back to that play when he ran the ball and he shook Rashawn Evans out of his shoes and came around and Tremaine Brock was trying to strip the ball. I'm like, just make the tackle.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Make the tackle. Something that we don't have on our defense is a hitter. Right?
Yep.
Something that we had is Cyprian. Cyprian couldn't cover, but he'll hit you.
Yeah, right.
In that situation, I feel like he would have knocked his head off. Like, literally knocked his head off. So something that we didn't play aggressive on defense, and the tackling was awful. I know it's cold outside. I get it. You see what I'm saying? But when you in a big game like this and you're going against slippery, speedy guys, you almost have to damn near hold his jersey to tackle him. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So when tackling was awful.
It was.
What about you?
So when you go back to the Week 10 game against the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm going to be honest. We won the game. We did. Rightfully so. Hey, you got to play the game. We won the game. We had won 2 of the most recent 2 games that we played against the Chiefs, one in the playoffs and one this season. But when you really watch the tape,
we lost.
We even said in the preview, like, we had our second thoughts on them, beating the Chiefs.
Right.
The Chiefs made a lot of mistakes in that game, okay? They really did. In this game, the Chiefs did not make mistakes. The Chiefs didn't make any mistakes, really. Had a few drop balls early in the first half. That's about it. They didn't really make a lot of penalties. They didn't do a lot of dumb plays. They didn't mess up on special teams. Patrick Mahomes didn't throw any interceptions. So Kansas City played mistake-free football, and that's what it needed to take for us to win this game. Again, we only lost by 11, so a turnover could have really changed the whole dynamic of the game. They didn't do it. Kansas City is the best passing offense in the league. So if they don't make mistakes, nobody can beat them, at least on offense. Defensively, they can still be tested. But I think, again, Kansas City didn't make any mistakes. They didn't make any mistakes. None. So that's why we lost. Now, the Titans didn't make a lot of mistakes. We had some stupid penalties, about 2 big penalties. So maybe you could put that in the mistake column. But I thought overall, man, hey, it was pretty even. It was, you versus me, and the Chiefs won. But they didn't make mistakes. So you got to give Andy Reid and the coaching staff and the players a great job of being disciplined. A lot of times, Kansas City is a team, man, it's 3rd and 1, and they're on defense. You do down set hut, and they jump all the time. Chiefs
they were doing it. They were doing it.
They
were doing it.
They were, man.
Tannehill was able to make them
That's right, in the first half.
Yeah,
that's right.
He was doing it.
Not the second half. Kansas City adjusted. They adjusted. So yeah, man. So Jacques. So, my favorite question to you, sir.
All right.
The Kansas City Chiefs. Did they impress you?
Yeah, they impressed me. Absolutely. They impressed me the first time we played them. I was like, the first, to people that I got a story. I left the game the first time we played them. And we won. All right? Yes, Pat Mahomes is unbelievable, okay? And I'd say something about these ex-baseball players. They used to play baseball.
His father, too.
Hey, if you want a quarterback, a real quarterback, if he played baseball, like look at Russell Wilson. He played baseball.
Joe Burrow, too.
Joe Burrow. They know how to. If you can throw a baseball like that, you can throw a football.
Right.
So that's the advantage. And I give Andy Reid and just the organization props for freaking finding him in the draft when nobody. That's called scouting.
Yeah, man.
That's A1 scouting. Okay. All these other teams passed him up. Chicago,
unbelievable.
They passed him up. You know what I mean? Think about it, people. You play baseball. You can throw the ball. You're very accurate. Taking the ball. Taking the baseball. Throwing it to the mound. Boom. That's accuracy. Okay. And I'm gonna say this. If the Kansas City Chiefs didn't have Pat Mahomes, they wouldn't. No, It's Pat.
I think y'all know that too.
If you say that, no.
Y'all know that.
Admittedly, Patrick Mahomes is the catalyst. He is the key.
Yeah, he is.
He is your glue.
He arguably the best player. He is the best player in the league.
In the league and on their team.
Right.
Okay? It's no questions. Now, I would say this about their team. To me, I feel like they need a legit number 1 receiver. Besides the other receivers that they got. They're good complementary receivers and they have speed. But they need a guy like a Julio Jones or a D-Hop. If they were able to get an Antonio Brown, I know he's acting crazy, but if they were able to get one of those receivers, they would go from here to here.
Yeah.
They'll almost be like almost a dynasty. You see what I'm saying? Run game's pretty decent. Defensively is where they really impressed me because they made adjustments.
They did.
They made adjustments when they needed to. They were able to stop Derek.
Yep.
And how they stopped him was smart.
Yeah.
That was smart. What do? You hit his legs. Derek don't have big legs, people.
Yeah.
He has actually chicken legs. Okay. He's very big up top, little down here. So how do you stop him? And something I noticed, Derek too, he was running towards the pound, not around it. I seen some times where he could have ran around, got like 15, 16 yards, and a touchdown. So yeah, they impressed me. Like I said, good luck to him in the Super Bowl. I see a lot of Chiefs fans in the comment section talking y'all trash. That's cool, talking trash. I agree. But just like I tell them, focus on the next game. Don't get too excited because you won the AFC Championship. Continue to be great. You want to be the next New England Patriots, right? Don't be those dumb fans that you have a hype year one year and then you're done the next. No, you want to continue this greatness, all right? So if you want to make your little comments in the sections, cool. But focus on them 49ers, man. I heard the 49ers got the number one, pass defense?
Mm-hmm. Pass defense.
Pass defense?
And the front four is ridiculous.
And the front four is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm saying concentrate on what you got going forward. Yeah, you beat the Titans. Yeah, that's cool. We didn't have no pass rush. But you're going against Joey Bosa. You're going against Armstead. You're going against Solomon Thomas. You're going against DeForest Buckner. And Bosa?
Yep.
So you have to bite that and fight that front four. And I don't care if you Tom Brady. Pat Mahomes can get pressure all day. He throwing off his back foot. He can't be accurate. Yeah. Then you still got Richard Sherman out there. So, like I said, yeah, they impressed me. They did. What about you?
They absolutely impressed me. I really was impressed of the scheme that they ran on offense and defense. Mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes, though he didn't throw for 300 yards, his game was still very efficient. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's throwing it all over the field. I stated in a preview show that, yes, he does a lot of dinking and dunking. That he does.
He did.
He did throw one bomb that was caught by Sammy Watkins for a big touchdown. So that's still in the repertoire. We understand that. But Patrick Mahomes, this is a positive. I'm speaking positive on him in the fact that, hey, if you give him a spot, he's going to throw it, he's going to make the throw, right? And so Patrick Mahomes offensively, I was very impressed overall. Damian Williams didn't run the ball a lot, but I felt he was very, very efficient in his, receiving the ball, running the ball at times when he was asked to. But again, I was more impressed with their defense. I think defensively, they did a great job in controlling our line of scrimmage. Our offensive line has been doing great over the last few weeks, man. And I'm not gonna say they played a terrible game against the Chiefs, but man, they had the Titans kind of shaking a little bit. And I mentioned this, and this is from a friend of mine that was like brought this to my attention. I said, this is actually a heck of a point. Where the Kansas City Chiefs is a fast interior defense. Mm-hmm. The Titans do better with brawny defensive linemen, right? Big dudes that just walk up the field and you just block them. When it comes to speedy zone D linemen, we have some struggles. And that's what happened. And so at times when Derrick Henry was running in the hole, he got met up by some Chiefs, right? The linebackers played all right. I tell you, Sorensen played a really good game to safety. I kind of was talking about him in the preview. Hey, but he came up and made a lot of tackles. Tyrann Mathieu was all over the field. He led them in tackles. He had 10 tackles. So he was all over the field. I think the corners played pretty decent too, but was very impressed with their defense, man. So, yeah.
So we done with the Chiefs. Like I said, good luck to y'all. Now it's time to focus on the Titans.
Yes, sir.
We done with y'all. Y'all going in to try to win your Super Bowl. Boom. All right?
Yep.
So let's talk about Titans fans. Let's get focused back on us. Coke, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
So we have a big offseason coming up, man.
Yeah, we do.
It's going to be one of the biggest offseasons to kind of make the Titans and kind of break the Titans.
It will.
We got a priority in free agency, and I need you to give me at least.
Okay.
Should we sign Henry or should we sign Tannehill?
Okay.
That's a huge question.
That is a huge question.
That's a big debate.
It is. And y'all, I'm telling you, man, from this point on, we're going to be asking a lot of different questions. You know what I mean? We're going to be breaking it down up to when the season starts. So just be ready for it. So priority number one.
Okay.
That's a heck of a question, right? Between Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry. Now, from a fan's perspective, I would guarantee you the fans would say Derrick Henry, right?
Absolutely.
That would make the most sense. Mm-hmm. If you look at it logistically, even some people might even say Ryan Tannehill would be the best because, again, he is a quarterback. Mm-hmm. But this is what I would say for me from a priority standpoint. I know historically when teams had paid big on running backs, the dividends have not been brought back, right? But here's the thing about Derrick Henry that makes him a bit different than, say, Le'Veon Bell or
Chris Johnson.
Yeah, guys like that, right? Now, when you look at Derrick Henry, he's still very fresh if you think about his utilage, right? Mm-hmm. Over the first 3 years, he wasn't used that much. He was used a lot this year, right? And Derrick Henry's a big running back, okay? He's huge, okay? Now, realistically, you would say a running back probably tires is about 4 years, okay? So this is going into his fourth season. Okay, so I would say the priority for me is Derrick Henry, and this is why I say this. There are quarterbacks out there that would love to play for the Titans, okay? And I'm not saying you get rid of Ryan Tannehill. Matter of fact, keep Tannehill, but franchise Tannehill. That's what I'm saying. If I'm going to pay some money up front, I would pay Derrick Henry a lot of money up front. I would pay him some guaranteed dollars up front and maybe sign him to a 3-year deal, right? And the 3 years, I'd pay him maybe $13 million a year. You know what I'm saying? And with that type of a contract, he'll be in the top 5 running backs. Because here's the thing. The top 3 running backs in the league that are getting paid is Ezekiel Elliott, Le'Veon Bell, and I think David Johnson.
It is definitely.
David Johnson for the Cardinals, he's in the top 3 or 4 paid running backs, and after that, it's a major drop off, like huge. It goes from like $15 million a year to like $8 million a year. So Derrick Henry could see himself in the top 5 or whatever, but Derrick Henry was our offense. Okay, in Dallas, you got Ezekiel Elliott, you got receivers and everything. Derrick Henry was our offense. Now Ryan Tannehill was as well. But I would franchise Tannehill at least for a year because Ryan Tannehill is going to ask for $27, $28 million. And that's going to block up the team overall where we can't sign me at running back, right? So I would take the risk of paying Derrick Henry. I would give him a 3-year deal. And on top of that, I would franchise Tannehill. If he didn't want that, if he was to walk away, then I would look at Phillip Rivers. I would look at Thomas Patrick Edward Brady. I would look to see what we have and then draft a quarterback in the first round. So what about for you? And the first round quarterback would learn and things and then be ready within 2 years. That's just my thoughts. What about for you, man?
So I'm going to say the opposite. I'm going to say Tannehill.
Okay.
And the reason why I say Tannehill is because if we franchise Derrick, it is cheaper than franchising Tannehill. Tannehill probably garnered $26, $23 million off just the franchise tag alone. So he's going to eat up all that money regardless.
Yes, sir.
But the reason why I say bring back Tannehill, you bring back that continuity. Now people, I'm not saying you can't sign both. But Tannehill, first of all, has continuity with the receivers and everything like that. All right, now we did see what happened when Derrick Henry did get stopped.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We needed Tannehill to step up, which he made some mistakes here and there. But to bring back the continuity, because remember, he has relationships now with A.J. Brown. He has relationships with some of these receivers and some of these tight ends.
Yep.
So if you bring back that continuity, then you can somehow sign Derrick Henry, I think we'll be okay. But do I want to go out and sign a Tom Brady who is 42 and kind of on his decline? Same way with Phillip Rivers. I just don't. But I would say Tannehill, maybe a 2-year deal, 2 or 3-year deal. I'm not paying him crazy money. But at that point, if he wants to walk, okay, good. But at least a 3-year deal and still draft a quarterback. Even with Derrick Henry, to your point, if we sign Derrick Henry, I'm still drafting a running back. It may sound crazy, people, but with these two, Derrick Henry has a lot more tread on the tire. Yes, he's still a running back. But at the same time, I want to, in case he gets hurt like he did early in the season with his hamstring, I don't want a big drop-off from the point when we had Deion Lewis. Right. Same way with Tannehill. If Tannehill gets hurt, because this is a good year for Tannehill. Tannehill hasn't gotten hurt. Right. Remember, people. So if we go out and draft a quarterback, I don't need a huge drop-off. You know what I'm saying? Or we get a backup. So for me, it would be Tannehill because it's least expensive. I mean, it's still gonna break the bank on a long-term scale, but at the same time, franchise him, you really gonna break the bank. Yeah. And I feel like if you franchise Derrick, you can work out a long-term deal amongst that. And I feel like his deal will be a little bit easier versus Tannehill, who is probably, how old is Tannehill?
About 31.
He's 31. Okay, so he's a year older than I am. So it's like, in my opinion, I still would draft a quarterback and a running back. If you don't draft your quarterback this year, at least draft him next year. Mm-hmm. I would draft. You got some good running backs coming out this year. If J.K. Dobbins falls to you at that 29th pick, draft him. Why not? Derek's got his money. We have a good stud running back behind him where we don't have to go out and draft one in the next couple of years. So if Derek does happen to drop off in those 3 years that you said, hey, J.K., go ahead and get in there. Boom, we got you. Right. And then you almost got a dual threat right there. Derek, you got most of the carries, but just in case, hey, J.K., you right here as well. So same with Tannehill. To me, there's good quarterbacks coming out. It's decent quarterback. We're going to have a show about the draft.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
We're going to definitely have a show about the draft.
Yeah, man.
But we'll see. We'll definitely see. But me, it's Tannehill.
Tannehill, cool. So we know that we have a lot of free agents on our team. Dang near 80% of the team is a free agent, man. It's crazy.
It's a lot of role players, but
it is, right. A lot of role players. And that usually happens. Yeah. But there's 4 big free agents that are out there right now. And so, Jacques, I wanted to know, of the 4, who would you prioritize ranking from 1 to 4, 1 being the most important, 4 being the least? How would you break that down?
So 1 would be Tannehill because it's your quarterback.
Yes,
right
sir.
now, you need a franchise quarterback. You can get a good 3-year deal out of him. To the point where you keep that continuity together. Second priority would be Derrick Henry. You got to find a way to sign your long-term workhorse running back.
Yes, sir.
Like you said, a 3-year deal. We doing these 3-year deals now. That way you can get your third contract. Number 3 is Jack Conklin. Okay, I know Jack Conklin struggled in the beginning of the year, But at the same time, he's gotten that continuity with the offensive line. You don't want to split that up.
No, you don't.
Please don't split that
Absolutely.
up. Because if you let him walk, somebody's going to pay him. To me, he's still a good right tackle, right?
Yeah.
And number 4, I want to bring back Logan Ryan, okay? I do, but I want to bring him back on a minimum basis, right? I'm not finna pay him top corner money because if you're a top corner, I expect you to be on your number 1 receivers. I expect you to make plays. I expect you to, and when Malcolm Butler went down, you seen how his play kind of elevated, but then we kind of seen him get exposed a little bit. I don't want him guarding Tyreek Hill. That's not his job, right?
Right.
So that's for me.
Okay.
That's my ranking. What about you?
So for me, I'm going to say the number 1 priority is Derrick Henry. I think that's the priority. He's the most dynamic running back, maybe besides Christian McCaffrey, because McCaffrey can catch the ball. But you look at Derrick Henry from a running and catching standpoint, man, look, Christian McCaffrey had the ball much more than Derrick Henry, right? So he's a running back, so he runs. I mean, he don't really catch many. I think he had like maybe 16, 18 catches all season. So, but I think he's still young. He's motivated. I would sign Derrick Henry first. That would be my number 1 priority. And I'm not saying it because I'm a big fan. I mean, I'm saying it from the needs of the team that he's the big kettle on the stove is Derrick Henry. Second, Ryan Tannehill, no question. Ryan Tannehill came into the game half season. Look what happened. We made it to the AFC Championship. He was the main reason, man. It was Ryan Tannehill. Derrick Henry, of course, was there as well. But Ryan Tannehill, pushed it up a bit. Again, for him, it's not so much that I don't want to sign him. I just think he's going to ask for a whole lot of money. He's gonna ask probably top 3 in the league money, right? And he might deserve it. The market might say you do deserve it. It might be true, but I still have him as a high priority. Number 2 out of the 4, Ryan Tannehill. Third, Jack Conklin. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Conklin is only 25 years old, okay? He is a premier right tackle. Yes, he struggled early because he just came back from an injury. But, man, it's so important to have your offensive lineman back, man. Now we got, you got Taylor Lewan, you got Roger Saffold, you got Ben Jones, you got Nate Davis, and Jack Conklin. So these guys, if they come back next year off the strength of this year, oh, my gosh, they're going to be unbelievable. They're one of the main reasons as to why we made it so far in the playoffs, and Jack Conklin's play was huge. I really like Jack Conklin. I really, talked about the linemen earlier this year, but again, I think they're just in the process of gelling, and they have gelled. And so I think Jack Conklin is we have to sign him. He might think he could get some left tackle money somewhere. Somebody might pitch that to him, and he might go for it. I don't know if he's a left tackle. He played left tackle at Michigan State. I don't know how he would do in the pros with it. We'll see. And last, Logan Ryan. I would really love to bring Logan Ryan back. Logan Ryan is a utility knife for the team. He makes tackles. He makes sacks. He intercepts the ball. He covers very well. He's going to make a lot of tackles. That's just what he does. But I would think the downfall for Logan Ryan is, yes, you can't pay him cornerback 1 money. I don't know if he would ask for that, but Logan Ryan, he has control. Logan Ryan can say, look, man, Tice, if you want to pay me $8 million, this team could pay me $10 million. I'm going to holler at you. And he might get that in this market. And somebody might be like, look, man, they made it to the AFC Championship, and Logan Ryan was, a major part of that. But again, I can't trust Logan Ryan to say, go guard Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill was lighting him up, right? Or go out to the outside and guard the number 1 receiver. If we're going to pay you cornerback top money, you need to be outside on that corner, playing the top corners. Again, I really am a big Logan Ryan fan. I think it's going to come down maybe $1 million or $2 million difference. I think that's what might make him walk. But I would like to keep all 4 of them. So that's my priority list overall, man.
And money will come available because you're going to get rid of the Delaney Walkers. You might get rid of Deion Lewis. You might get rid of some of these players that are hogging up the money. Because right now we're number 12 in cap space. We're number 12 in the league.
Right.
That puts you over $70 million right there.
It
Boom.
does. It does, man.
Like number 5, number 6.
That's right.
So in that point, in that instance, then you have room to pay both players because you don't want to split this dynamic up.
Right.
You don't. When you go to the AFC Championship like this, it's hard to keep the same team together. But John Robertson is working overtime. J-Rob is working overtime. And I've noticed something about J-Rob. If you see a player walk, if you see a player where he don't resign and you don't pick anybody up in free agency, that's who we drafted, right?
Yep.
So if you don't see us get a right end or a left end, we're going to draft one, which I don't think there's really a decent one when it falls in number 29.
29, yeah. No,
that's going to be hard to pick up.
That's going to be hard. It is.
So in my opinion, it's going to be hard to pick up a right tackle at 29. You got skill positions at that position. You can either go corner, you go DB.
Yeah.
Now, people may think I'm crazy when I say we need corners. These past couple of days when Butler went down, these past couple of games that I noticed, when Jackson goes down, we hurt. We hurt. We hurting. I would like to get a young corner in here that kind of challenges those players to the point where it's almost like, okay, he can be a number 1 corner. He can be almost a shutdown corner. Like I said, I was high on Tre'Davious White when he came out the draft from LSU, just because I know what a 4-year starter does. Desmond King from for the Chargers as well. I know how that resonates from the field to the from college to the NFL to the pros. Right? We're not getting Jalen Ramsey. I would like to. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, man. But it's just we need speed and receiver. That's something too. We need a Tyreek Hill. I think if we brought a Tyreek Hill in here, dude, that'll take our offense from here to here. Literally, you have Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill. You got your 2 receivers. You got your tight ends. Then all of a sudden, you got your little Tyreek Hill right here that can go. Right. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And also, I was in the mall the other day, and I ran into a fan. Spencer, shout out to you, bro.
Shout out to you, homie.
Hey, I appreciate the love. Anytime you see us out, man, holler at us, man.
That's right, man. That's right. We're around the city, man. We here. So, yeah. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, that ends the show. The Titans season is over. You know, from this point on, man, we're going to be breaking down the offseason, so just be ready. Each show will be titled something different, so just be ready for the ride, man, because, hey, we're going to go with it, all right? That's what we're going to do, man.
And we know we need a defensive coordinator. We know we need a cornerbacks coach now since Kerry Combs left.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
saying?
Right.
So absolutely. And shout out to the defensive coordinator and Dean Pease, man. Right. You know, much respect to him. He retired. Much respect to him. He's an unbelievable defensive coordinator, man.
We didn't have a big drop off, man. We went from Dick LeBeau to Dean Pease. Exactly. That's pretty awesome, man.
That is, man. That is.
So people, we gonna bring, like he said, we're gonna bring you more shows, breaking in-depth knowledge down. Like I said, just get ready. Yep. We ain't stopping. This train gonna keep moving.
That's right, man. That's right. So you can contact us, folks, on Gmail at TennesseeTitансWeekly@gmail.com. You can also hit us up on Twitter at TitansWeekly247 and on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly.
Let's get the follows up on Instagram too, please.
Get them up.
Let's get them up because we're gonna start doing more live shows on those as well.
Yep.
So let's get them up. Remember, share, like, subscribe. Tell your uncle, your cousin, your grandmama, your pig, your dog, your cat. I don't care. Tell them. Watch the show. We out here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And lastly, man, congratulations to the Tennessee Titans, man, for an unbelievable season, man. What a season. Take everything, as they say, man. Hey, that's what we did. Tighten up. And we had so many slogans this year, man. Right. But, you know, more importantly, man, awesome job by the Tennessee Titans, man. Yes, they played as a team, man.
Take that momentum in the next year, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So to you and yours, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we do, folks.
Yes, sir.
Tighten up.
We out.
We'll holler at you. Yes, sir. Who?